think is really wonderful about working with Christin is that when we're working with her, I don't feel nervous or like stressed that I'm gonna mess something up.
Christin's community that she built, community built on kindness, so I want to come here every day. I want to see these people. I want to be surrounded by this love.
She won't slap you with a ruler. She's very kind in that everybody feels comfortable around her.
The amount of care that she has for all of her students, the community that she creates, the feeling of joy in dance is unmatched.
My name is Christin Hanna. I actually started dancing at the age of 5. Signed my first professional contract at age 12. I signed with Oakland Ballet in the year 2000 when I was a junior in high school. And that was the beginning of my professional career that led me throughout the United States, primarily to New York as a founding member of New Chamber Ballet. I was privileged enough to perform at the Jacob's Pillow Dance Festival, which is outdoors. Really lovely, but has a lot of bugs and humidity and no beautiful lake to jump into after you perform. So that was really what kind of got me thinking about bringing something here for the kids in our community who have every right to the professional training, not because of where they live, to be excluded from that. As a young person here, I did not have a sense of place, but I can only say that now upon reflection. I was one of those kids that wanted to get out of here as soon as she could. What I sought simply did not exist here. There is now a sense of place for young people, but the flip side of that is that there is a great sense of place for our guest artists who return. They like to be a part of this sense of place, and they kind of nudge the kids and say, like, you're lucky, this is special.
We've seen videos of Christin dancing in Reno.
When she was a teenager.
And it was like weird to see because you see yourself as her. And you're like, am I good enough to go do this? But she showed us that you can go to New York and you can be in New York City Ballet and EBT if you really set your mind to it.
Christin especially does such a great job at bringing in incredible artists from all around the world. So I feel like even though I danced in Tahoe, I didn't necessarily have such a closed bubble of dance. I was exposed to all genres from all people all around the world.
The challenge of a dance teacher is always to sort of figure out every kid and what you need to say to make something work for them. Each student is a puzzle piece, so what does each kid need to hear each day? And the constant is coming through that door and me being there.
Dance is like a breath for me. It's like every time I come to dance, I can finally breathe again. I remember walking into the studio for the first time after COVID, 3 years, and I was so scared because I looked around and I thought, I don't really belong here. I took the class and I think I did okay, and I remember coming out and crying because I was still a little bit scared, but also shocked through the kindness and joy that I felt inside the room.
On a dress rehearsal night, my position as artistic director is possibly a little different than someone at New York City Ballet who has a costume department and a tech department and an everything else department. After we speak now, I will be finishing pinning white socks together to be bleached for tomorrow's performance, so we'll have clean white socks. So there are a million little details on our minds. We sell our own tickets, we manage all these things. So I have to compartmentalize many parts of my job and then be there emotionally available for the kids and not be stressed out. But as far as like when I pull that curtain open, my work is done. If they're not doing what I've been asking of them for however many years they've been training with me, it's not gonna happen today.
So the training is like you're getting ready for the big moment and you have that adrenaline, but it's not really strong. You feel very relaxed around the people that are dancing with you. When you mess up, you're like, okay, it's no big deal, I'll just get it later. But when you're performing, you have so much adrenaline that you get super nervous. That adrenaline can be really exciting or it can be really scary adrenaline. Depending on how that adrenaline is, that's how the show might go.
The biggest privilege about this community as an audience is that they haven't necessarily been exposed to much dance. I have taken that very seriously from day one. Every program we do, much like this one, we have a classical ballet that premiered in 1869 in Russia. We have an excerpt from it. And we have a piece that was made in 2017 in New York City, done in socks. So I always try to show this breadth of different varieties of work. It's like a tasting menu. If you haven't seen dance before, you can kind of say, oh, I like the tutu, I like the barefoot, I like the modern. That's my way of sneakily educating audiences that haven't seen dance. The flip side of that is that a program like that really challenges the dancers themselves to be more diversely educated. They have to run and slide in socks, and they have to hop on point.
My favorite move to do in the studio and at ballet is a grand battement. When you kick your leg really high, either to the front, side, or back, because I love like swinging my leg and doing big moves. And a move that I aspire to do is an attitude turn, when you have your leg in back and you're bending it, and you turn around in like a pirouette kind of position. I feel like it looks really pretty, and it just seems like it'd be really fun to do it.
My specialty is a dancer, and there are a few people who can still attest to this. There's a section of one of those cheesy dance films about an aging Baryshnikov. He's trying to like get himself back in his shape, and he's like jumping, and he does this little sequence where he jumps higher and higher and higher, like he looks like he's on a trampoline. And I used to mimic that. When I was lucky enough to train with Willie Berman in New York, it was really, really, really tough. Like he would make you cry and then say, oh, I have soup for you. In his class were principals from New York City Ballet, American Ballet Theater, like legends. Every single day he would have me demonstrate Grand Allegro. And Grand Allegro is the big jump across the floor. So you run and you fly in the splits. And every day everyone would clap for me, and then someone would try it and they do it wrong, and you go, Christin, do it again. The last time I saw him, I actually took 4 of my dancers to New York, and they were able to take his class. He sent me an email and he said, your students are so full of joy and your jump hasn't lessened. By that time I was long retired, just like here teaching, mopping the floor. But I think about those words like your jump hasn't lessened. I will say that commitment, fearlessness, and imagination have to be present every day in the life of a dancer. Your body hurts from 10 hours of rehearsal for the last 10 days, and you have to get out of bed. There's your commitment. Fearlessness. You know, my best friend and I met each other because my teacher said, run and jump on him. And I did, and we fell onto the floor, and we've been tight ever since. There's a fearlessness to walk out on stage. For a dancer, particularly a ballet dancer, imagination is fascinating because the technique is so finite. I mean, your pinky is placed a certain way and then has to travel with you a certain other way. Your head, your eyes, your neck, your shoulder, it can feel like there's not a lot of imagination there. But you spend all those hours training so that is no longer something you have to think about. And from there, you get to just dive into and use your imagination. Who is walking on their toes with a weird skirt on to portray a swan? That takes a lot of imagination, both for the dancer and for the audience. The dancer is there as the paintbrush of the choreographer to make that person's imagination come to life. As myself as a dancer who's become a choreographer, I think about how I can convey what I want to see the body do and how the audience can either react to that in a literal sense, that I'm telling a story and I want this to be this, or whether it's just an atmosphere or a feeling. So to me, sparking imagination in others is what's key there.
I think it's like important to have big challenges while you're dancing. I was given a part I did not think I could do at all. It's really nice to have someone to like look up to and teach you something you didn't think you could do before. You don't get that all the time.
The confidence that I learned here, the loyalty and dedication that I learned here, I really took into other parts of my life. I would not be where I am right now without Christin.
What is it after? We do like
And the next one starts with 1, 2, 3, 4.
I studied with Christin from the time I was about 11 until I graduated high school. I am back home for a little bit. I started taking adult classes with Christin, which has been quite the change, and she asked me if I'd like to teach, so I have been teaching 1 class a week, and this performance that they're having right now, I was actually in the original version of it and helping the dancers learn the choreography. The mind-body connection, your ability to think about things simultaneously and be so aware of yourself in 3 dimensions, but also of other people in 3 dimensions, your ability to remember choreography and be doing it simultaneously with other people on stage is pretty amazing.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I mean, I'm an engineer. I really love math and science, and I feel like dance and STEM use similar parts of the brain.
When I hear the girls come in talking about college applications and extracurriculars and their tests and their this and their that, it's very important that they know that someone really believes in them, and particularly in a very different capacity than the rest of their lives. As a dancer, I would not have gone to the lengths I did if a few of my teachers all along the way, from childhood to professional dancing, hadn't believed in me and pushed me and urged me. And it is not only my honor, but it is my duty to the art form to turn around and pass those experiences on to other young people. I think we are a society that complains when things are wrong, but doesn't pat you on the back when things are right. So to be celebrated this way by the Legacy Fund and the Juniper Award is a very high honor. It's rewarding to do what you do, but it really is nice when someone else notices.